Also, city lifeguards are getting a pay raise to try to keep your neighborhood pools open.
This year, starting wages for lifeguards were supposed to be $8 to $10.25 an hour, but City Council recently raised that to more than $13. KXAN investigator Kevin Schwaller found that raise is costing you. The money to fill jobs is also draining city reserves.
Thomas Matson hopes this application will land him a summer job as a lifeguard. If he gets it, his starting pay is shooting up.
It definitely made me want to stay with this instead of looking for other jobs.
The city is trying to level pay and combat years of lifeguard shortages with the promise of bigger paychecks.
We are seeing an influx in applicants.
Still, that boost costs $418,000. The money council approved is coming out of the city's safety net. Its reserves.
Pretend this is the reserve fund we're talking about. The city reserves are supposed to stay at 12% of the budget. Well, this year the city has given money to APD for overtime and also to a homelessness program. And now with the pay increase for lifeguards, this level's dropped to 11.9%, below the city's own minimum standard.
We think it's a crazy way to use a reserve fund. Reserve fund is really for things like emergencies or for natural disasters, for things that you couldn't possibly foresee.
But Councilmember Don Zimmerman says the Parks and Recreation Department has seen issues recruiting lifeguards for years.
So many families rely on those neighborhood pools.
Mayor Pro Tem Kathy Tovo sees it differently. She believes the city needs to use this money now, and its reserves are still healthy.
I feel pretty confident that we've got the reserves we need to weather any reasonable emergency.
And possibly a tool to stave off pool closures this summer. Kevin Schwaller, KXAN, investigates.
And we found even with the raise, the city might have a hard time opening pools right now. Right now, the city is a little less than halfway to the 600 lifeguards they need. They're hosting more signups in the coming weeks. There were a lot of frustrations tied to pool closures last year, you might remember. City officials said they needed to rework the summer pool schedule because of needed repairs, water conservation issues, a lifeguard shortage then, and a predicted budget shortfall. That prompted them to close Metz and Mabel Davis pools. They both fall in City Council member Pio Renteria's district. After a lot of complaints, the city reopened the pools once repairs were made. The city also said several pools were at risk of closing. Those included Go Valley and Montopolis, again in District 3. It also listed Gillis Pool in District 1, Shite Pool in District 9, and Northwest Pool in District 7.